Hi Mason, thank you for your time. Let's get started. At what age did you begin playing soccer?
I started playing soccer when I was around 3 or 4 years old.
Okay, what teams have you played for?
When I started playing soccer, I just played for the local recreational league called ABE. Then I started playing for a club team called Stars United. And when I was in high school, I obviously played for my high school. Then I also played in college.
Okay, what did each team help you learn that you've incorporated into your everyday life?
I think that each team taught me something different. For example, my high school team, it taught me how to be a leader because my junior and senior year, I was the captain of my high school team. So I had to be a good example for the other guys. For my club team, it taught me how to work together with kids that I probably wouldn't have talked to if it weren't for soccer because, I mean, we came from all different backgrounds and stuff like that.
What did the team environment help you to learn?
Definitely how to be civil with someone if you don't like them because on the field you can't really bring your problems off the field into the field or it will infect the team environment as a whole. So I think that that's definitely a big thing.
Where have you played that has helped you experience life from a different perspective?
When I was 15 years old, I played in Spain, and that was the first time that I ever left the country. And it was a really good experience because it taught me about the Spanish culture and just everything about it, including how serious they take soccer compared to a lot of places in America.
Did you have to try out for this team or
Yes, that was for my club team. So that
so
was the team that was Stars United.
so what was the recruitment process like for you?
Um, for college.
Um, that or your club team?
So for college, the recruitment process was pretty difficult. It's really hard to get your name out there, especially when there's thousands of other kids trying to do the same. So it's hard to. They always tell you to basically brag about yourself, which that's usually something that people aren't very used to doing. So I think that was the hardest thing for me, and I mean, it ended up being good for me, but a lot of other kids don't have the same experience.
And what is the greatest thing that you've taken away from that experience of playing at this level?
I think that, I mean, working hard. When I got recruited as a freshman walk on. So I was recruited, but I was recruited on no scholarship. So I was playing for free compared to a lot of other kids that were having a decent bit of their college paid for. So I think that, you know, getting up and having to do fitness at 6 a.m. for free was really challenging. And I mean, it taught me a lot about my character and taught me that sometimes you have to work hard for what you want, even if it doesn't mean getting a payday for it.
And what do you love most about the sport as compared to other sports that you could have chosen to have played?
I like the team aspect to it. I also like the freedom that soccer incorporates into the game just by being soccer. So, like football, you have a quarterback that, gets the play, that he throws the ball, but in soccer, you're the quarterback. It's nice because you can, even if you're playing center back, you can do as much passing as a striker on the
Mm-hmm.
field.
And what's the hardest thing that you've overcome within the sport of soccer?
I think a couple of things, like we talked about before. I think the recruiting process was very difficult for me. Also, when I was 18 years old, I broke my collarbone, and that was the first time that I ever had to go through an injury where it put me out of a season, and especially your senior year, that's supposed to be like really special. So like seniors can do things like you play on senior night, and I kind of had to just watch from the sidelines and work my way back and get fit. So that was really tough. And yeah.
What is one specific moment that you'll never forget when playing, or in any aspect of soccer?
Mm. I think that when I was a freshman, we played our rivals for the first game, and in the team, it's called like your provement day. You kind of have to prove yourself on the field, and you have to assert yourself in the squad with a big match. And I was the youngest kid in the starting 11, so we played the full game. It was tied after 90 minutes, and we ended up playing overtime and winning in the last 9 seconds of the game. And I remember that feeling being the most excited that I've ever been on the field.
Do you think that you would persuade your child to play the sport?
I think that if I have a kid, I will put them into the sport because not only for the fact that I love it, I think that it can teach you a lot about yourself even at a young age. I mean, it teaches you how to work together as a team, even telling a 4-year-old to pass the ball to their teammates is teaching them how to share, not be selfish, and things like that. So I think that it's a really good learning tool to put your kid into a team sport, especially soccer, because it's more team-oriented than a lot of sports.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think that your experience at playing at a collegiate level as opposed to when you were playing at a little bit of a lower level, like growing up, what do you think that has helped you learn?
I think it is to try to persevere, because at the collegiate level, you could be 17, 18 years old playing against men up to 30 years of age, compared to when you're in high school, you're going to probably play like 14, 15, up to like 17 or 18. So I feel like that's a big thing to, have a good mindset before even going into the match.
Mm-hmm.
And telling yourself, like, I can do this. Like, I'm just as good, but not in a cocky sense of way. Just as a confident sense of way, because there's like a fine line between that. So I feel like that's a big thing that the collegiate level taught me. Like, I'm here, and so are these other players, and I can play on the field just as well as them.
Are you still playing now?
Yeah, currently I'm playing for the Carlo men's team. I transferred from my old school to Carlo in the fall, and I played the fall season with them.
Are you continuing to play, or do you plan on playing for as long as you can, or do you think that there will be a stopping point eventually?
I think that every good thing has to come to an end, especially for me. I'm never going to make it to the higher level that players plan to achieve, which would be making a good paycheck out of it. So I feel like that I'm going to try to play as long as possible, just to stay fit and use my youth years up.
Why do you feel that you can't play at a higher level than collegiate?
I mean, soccer is a worldwide sport, and any level that you look at, even in the United States, players are coming from all over the world, and at some point you just have to kind of evaluate yourself realistically and tell yourself whether you can or can't.
And all in all, how has your experience affected your life in the long run?
I think that soccer has given me many tools in life, especially my dad always tells me that soccer gives you a lot of tools that you use in the workforce. What any part of work you're going into, you're going to have to, work for a boss, which would be equivalent to work like taking, orders or directions from your coach. Sometimes you might not like what your boss says to you, and that's same with soccer. You might get critiqued and you might think that you didn't do anything wrong, but in the end you have to listen to the authoritative figure. I think that I haven't really not got along with many of my teammates, but I think that it's good to play with kids from everywhere and have to work together as a team to reach one goal, because ultimately you're gonna have to do that in life way more than just a sport. It also has given me many friends from around the world. I have friends from Germany, England, Spain, Ireland, Italy, like everywhere around the world. It's given me so many great friends that I can talk to for the rest of my life, and I can call them my good friends.
Great. Thank you for your time.